weapons. Draw your steel. See, they have swords and a rounded, large shield. You'll notice the helm is the only part of the Viking that is mailed or hard armored. The rest of it is chained or clothing. Some of the men went into battle like myself. Some of us didn't have the money to afford this or the resources to afford this. And then later on in the period, you get to the Russ and Hunnic inspired laminor or laminated armor that could either be leather or metal. Now, scale also falls into that same category. Scale was really hard maintenance, so they didn't like to use it so much in battle. This stuff is hard to maintenance too, but you take your chainmail after it's been through battle a little bit and it's beat up and you fix all of it, and you'll find that it is starting to turn black and it's gotten some rust on it. Well, they all have beaches. So they would take it down to the sand and put it in a barrel or a bucket or something with some sand and agitate, and you can clean your chainmail pretty quickly. The shield of the time was the most important weapon and piece of armor. The shield was made from planks, as you can see on here, between 1/4 and 3/8 of an inch thick, glued together at the flat. Then it was wrapped on the outside with parchment, which is a thin animal hide, typically goat or sheep, or linen. Linen is not substantiated yet. Parchment is 100%. We have that for sure. Linen or parchment was put on the back. And what this did was the glue that they made out of animal byproduct laminated into the wood and creates a hard, like a Kevlar-like surface. You'll see that it is mounted in the hand. It's not worn on the arm, so that the shield can move freely around the body because you want to be able to fight around the shield. And then they had the metal piece in the center called the boss. All right, the shields, this is a 36-inch across shield. This is a 9.5-pound shield. Shields could be bigger and they could be smaller. Obviously, they would weigh more and they would weigh less. All right, how the weapons and armor were used in combat. You'll see our two Vikings are squaring off. The engagement at this time, especially in the one-on-one combat, was on the edge of the shield, trying to find the bind. So that once you found the bind, you can manipulate the other person's shield, slow, and go for some sort of killing stroke. Now, because of the type of armor that they have on, I'll use my sword. You're not hacking the good, are you? No. You see, it's really hard for me to do any damage. I have to be very strong, I have to fight with the tip of the weapon, or stab. Chainmail was very, very bad with the stab. Yes, sir. What's that? Yes. Oh, yeah. It's an entire shirt. Yeah. Chainmail, depending on the size of the man and the amount of chainmail, because typically the sleeve could come all the way to the wrist and the chain could go down to the knee, was between 25 and 30-ish pounds.
This one's about 25 pounds.
That one's 25 pounds. Now, this is the 6-in-1 or a 4-in-1? 4. This is the 4-in-1. This is typical of the time period. You can do 6 rings in one ring, you can do 10 rings. I mean, it gets very complicated. And it just gets heavier and heavier and heavier. The reason why the Vikings used what they did was because of resources. Mining ore to make iron was foreign to them. They picked it up off the ground. They found star metal where asteroids had hit the planet and blown up and the pieces of it, or they would dig up the cores, or they would extract iron from vegetation. That was their main way of getting the iron resource to make weapons.